Hey gang, I want to talk to you, especially a lot of you younger folks from high school up through your 30s and 40s. Maybe there's some old folks that have never been taught this either. I want to talk to you about what's real money and what's sound money. And a lot of you don't know the difference. So we're not taught this in high school. I mean, economics class, if you got anything about economics, was severely lacking. Uh, and it might have a budget class or something like that. But they're not teaching us about investments, about savings, about growing, and things like that. Number one, we got to understand that these paper currencies are fiat. What do I mean by fiat? There's nothing backing them. The only thing it's got is the good faith and trust of the U.S. government. Now, these are both Treasury notes and Federal Reserve notes. The problem with using a Federal Reserve note is it creates a taxable event because that's a private organization. We won't get into that now, but maybe we will some other time. There's nothing backing it. We used to have it backed by gold, silver, precious metals. No longer the case. We were taken off of that in President Nixon did that back in the 70s. So I want to talk to you a little bit about phantom wealth and about smart money and smart investing. So what do I mean by phantom wealth? Everybody has been seeing they've gotten raises. Some of you gotten raises, some of you haven't. We see where our income looks like it's growing. We're making more than ever. And yet, our bills are outpacing what we're making. That's phantom wealth. What on paper, it looks like your house is worth more. It looks like your car, when you go to trade it in, is worth more. The problem is, it's not. Because inflation, because they have hyperinflated the amount of dollar bills into the economy, has caused a problem where these aren't worth what they used to be. It takes more of these to buy what you want to buy. So really, you're not getting anywhere. What's the answer? We've got to look at what real wealth really is. So we got to understand assets versus liabilities. An asset is something that you buy that makes you money, or at least retains wealth. A liability is something you've got to keep maintaining. A house, for example, could be considered a liability. Well, I got to have a house, I got to have somewhere to live. Yeah, but a house that's bought as a rental property and you get an income off of it is an asset. A house that you live in that has to be maintained, kept up, is actually a liability. Same way with a car. You buy a car, well, I need a car to get to work. But it depreciates, it goes down in value, and you've got to maintain it. So is it really a liability or an asset? It's a liability. If you invest in silver and gold, those are assets that actually retain value and have the potential to grow. When you transfer these into these, then you're making a switch from fiat currency to sound money. So we've got to understand all of that. I got some notes here. I want to go down through. Here we go. So why does precious metals matter? Precious metals like gold and silver is what we call sound money, and they are the ones that aren't just for the wealthy. You don't have to be super rich. As you can see, I've been showing you some examples of some of the coins that I've got. You know, those are pretty special. These are collectible series. That's why they're cased the way they are. I mean, you look at this beauty. Wow. And it's minted. You can see there the queen on there. This was a governed mint, so there's only so many of these that are in circulation. We can even get into, you can say, hey, with the price of gold now, $2,900 an ounce, how can I afford? I can't afford to buy an ounce of gold. Maybe not, but you can afford to buy fractional amounts of gold and silver, like this half-gram coin that's a collectible, and yet it's still gold, and it will increase in value. So that's one way to save that and get it in a spot where you can use it. If you needed to barter with it, you can barter with it as well if things really got tough. The other way to do it is that you can get started with as little as $5 a week, a month, whatever you want to do. We have a tool called Sound Money Wallet. We take that cash, this $5 bill, and I can send it into my Sound Money Wallet and buy gold or silver eagles. I can buy gold or silver bullion, and it accrues in an account backed by real coins. Okay? You're not just buying a paper IOU note, you're buying into the amount that's amalgamated in that vault real coins. So that if at any time you say, okay, I've got enough silver accrued at $5 a week, send me a coin. You can do that. They'll send it to you within a short period of time. I mean, like days, a couple of days. You'll have that. Or you can transfer it back into your current account at your bank, and you've got access to it. So you're not losing anything. But the great thing is, instead of losing money to inflation, say you had $10,000 in the bank today, a year from now, even at 10%, it's only going to be worth, your buying power is only worth $9,000. So you've lost $1,000 worth of buying power just by saving these. Now, if you'd save these, that's a different story because it keeps up with inflation. That's what we call a hedge, a protection for your fiat. When you transfer from this to this, you're making an upsale that protects against inflation. You're not losing the money, you're protecting it. And then you need to have liquidity, which is what I really like about the Sound Money Wallet that we've got. Cutting edge technology. It's really a great platform. So with that being said, where do you get going? Number one, you need to get started. If you keep kicking the can down the road, you're going to have nothing. Do you realize that gold and silver, at least for 2024, outpaced the S&P 500 by a big margin? Your stocks, nothing against stocks, nothing against crypto. I think it's a great way that if you can invest and then take a portion of that out, put it into sound money, you're on a winning strategy. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a tax strategist. You need to work this all through, but you need to look at it. And you can start today, even without talking to any of those guys. You can start today stacking assets. You can either get them sent to your house, but if you're in a neighborhood where you don't trust or it makes you feel uneasy having all that gold and silver sitting around, keep it in the Sound Money Wallet. It's protected. I mean, this facility makes Fort Knox look like a playground, right? Put it in there where it's secure and it can grow and it can safeguard your assets. That's where you need to do. Get started. Get with us and get started. Now, the next thing is you need to join a community where you can keep up with things. We've got a great community of folks. There are ways that you can actually get free gold and silver as you got going, as you share. If you want to, you don't have to. That's the great thing with the program we've got, is that you don't have to. You can use it like a Costco for precious metals, or you can turn it into a business and grow. Now you've got something that's not only stacking assets, but is giving you a residual income. Both of them are a winner. Get with us today and let us show you how easy it is to get started. I hope this blessed you. I hope this increased your information. Be safe, be savvy. See you later.